having the pleasure of reading the resume of today's esteemed guest, Dr. Khadar Vali garu. It's a great honor and pleasure to introduce today's esteemed guest of today, that is Dr. Khadar Vali garu. He is a man whose life and work have become a beacon of hope for healthier and sustainable living. Dr. Khadar Vali garu hails from Podduturu town in Kadapa district, Andhra Pradesh, and has dedicated nearly more than 2 decades of reviving the Siri Dhanyalu known as the positive millets. His unwavering commitment to this mission has touched countless lives in restoring health and vitality to the people, not only India, across the globe. Dr. Khadar's academic journey began with a master's degree in science, specializing in education from the prestigious Regional Institute of Education, Mysuru. He then pursued his PhD at the Indian Institute of Sciences, Bengaluru, with groundbreaking research on steroids. Following this, his postdoctoral research fellowship in environmental science took him to the Beavertown, Oregano, USA, where he worked on deactivating harmful chemical substances like dioxin during an era when food was being rapidly commercialized. After gaining valuable experience as a food scientist at the Central Food Technology Research Institute, Mysore, and working for over more than 5 years in the various departments of Dew Point, Delaware, USA, Dr. Khadar Vali decided to return to India. He felt a deep calling to create a healthier society in his homeland. And in the year 1997, he settled in Mysore, embarking on a journey that would redefine health and agriculture in our country. Dr. Khadar Vali introduced Kadu Krishi, or the jungle farming, a natural cultivation method to grow and promote the use of Siri Dhanyalu. These 5 unique millets, according to his research, have exceptionally healing properties, offering hope for preventing and curing ailments such as the diabetes, the hypertension, PCOD, skin diseases, and even brain and brain-related illnesses. More than just a health advocate, Dr. Khadar Vali is a visionary. He educates farmers about sustainable cultivation practices, empowering individuals with knowledge about healthy living, and actively works towards preserving nature and water resources. His talks, which draw massive audiences in Karnataka, Telangana and Andhra Pradesh, and even abroad. Dr. Khadar Vali's dream is to create a healthier, sustainable world, and his work stands as a testament to the profound impact on the individuals. Please join me in welcoming today's guest, Mr. Millet Man of India, Mr. Khadar Vali, who is a true crusader for healthy and sustainability. Sir, we welcome you for this session, and I'm sure children will definitely gain a lot of knowledge in terms of millets, and the students are also ready with a pen and paper to jot down all the important points. Thank you. Hand over the mic to sir.
Good morning. So, what's the age group? 8th, 9th, 10th?
8th and 9th.
8th and 9th, okay. Do you have any idea about what are millets? Kids? Not really. Not really, okay. So, what do you eat in the morning, afternoon, night? What do you eat? What are you eating in the morning? Now, if I were to go to New Zealand and ask the same question, the kids, what would they answer? Now I'll go to Nigeria and then ask the same question, what would they answer? Now there is no place in the world where kids will be answering me a different grain. It's rice and wheat. all over the world people are eating rice and wheat only. Why are we eating rice and wheat only? Are there no other grains in the world? In fact, rice and wheat were not there 150 years ago. Even if they were there, it was only 1 or 2% of all the granary of the human race they were growing. There were more than 200 grains 150 years ago all over the planet. People used to grow there and then, and there was no shipment of grains from one place to the other. Out of all the grains, millets are almost 200 varieties. It's not one. Millets mean 200 varieties of grains. And millets are exclusively different kind of plants. All the plants in the world are one, and millets are one group. That's because the way they synthesize glucose. How do the plants synthesize glucose? Photosynthesis. All the plants are called C3 plants. You do know what is C3? As any science teacher, all the photosynthesis on this planet, all the plants, that is ficus, neem tree, mango tree, rice, wheat, all the plants, all the various lakhs and lakhs of plants prepare their food through photosynthesis called C3 photosynthesis. Does anyone know what is C3 here? The science teacher is here. Science teacher?
Yes.
Science teacher. Do you know what is C3 photosynthesis?
Includes the vegetables and some grains. So they use this 3 carbon molecule chain, sir. Whereas C4 consists of this millets and maize, etc. So that is the difference between C3 and C4, what I know.
Okay. C3 means the photosynthesis begins with pyruvic acid. The carbon dioxide molecule is sucked in. Glucose is a C6 carbon. We have 6 carbons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pyruvic acid is an intermediate molecule in the Krebs cycle. Krebs cycle is how you break down glucose into carbon dioxide. So pyruvic acid, then you get ethyl acetate, and then you go to carbon dioxide. You are burning the glucose into carbon dioxide. Pyruvic acid is 3 carbon organic acid. So from there onwards, the absorbed glucose, carbon dioxide is built. You get oxaloacetic acid, C4. Ascorbic acid. Have you heard ascorbic acid? What is ascorbic acid? What is ascorbic acid? Vitamin C. Vitamin C is your ascorbic acid. So ascorbic acid, then citric acid. Have you heard citric acid? Yes. Where is it? Lemon. Where is ascorbic acid? Gooseberry, nelikai, usirikai, that has got them. So pyruvic acid, oxaloacetic acid, oxalic acid, where is it? We have tomato, the sour acid is oxaloacetic acid. So, like this, 3 carbon, 4 carbon, 5 carbon, 6 carbon. So, in all the other plants, photosynthesis begins with C3, pyruvic acid. Whereas in millets, the grasses that occupy 90% of the planet soil, the photosynthesis begins from C4 oxaloacetic acid. This is the major difference. So how does it translate into millets? When C4 you begin to make glucose, to make the grain, you don't need water. Whereas C3 plants, from C3 to C4 you require water molecule. That means any plant, if you give water, it grows well, it makes the glucose better, more. And that's what your C3 grass called rice and wheat also do. So if you give good water and then give fertilizer, the grain will increase its yield. So instead of 1 acre 10 quintal, you will get 1 acre 30 quintals. That's what made rice and wheat chosen by these fertilizer companies and made green revolution, saying that we are making rice and wheat C3 grasses that give more yield, and per acre we can grow 30 quintals. This is green revolution magic. So put fertilizer, make more rice. So below 1950 and before 1950 we didn't have fertilizers, we didn't have dams. There were no dams built. Only after fertilizers usage started, people said, oh, we can build dams and grow more rice. So till then, for lakhs of years, human race did not eat rice and wheat. What were they eating? Why were they eating millets? Because it can be grown anywhere and everywhere. There is no need for water. While making the grain, it doesn't require water. Anywhere, even in completely infertile land, even if there is no rain, that means like Gujarat, places where almost like in our Andhra Pradesh, Anantapuram, there is a district where you only have 4 or 5 rains. That means what? You can grow millets anywhere, whereas rice and wheat only where there is water. So what was human being eating before? Millets. All over the world, just not in India. America, South Africa, Africa, you name any place, China, Himalaya, even in Himalayas, millets grow. Kodo millet is called Himalayan millet. Brown top millet is called American millet. Little millet is called African millet. Barnyard millet is known as German millet and Japanese millet. Foxtail millet is known as Italian millet. That means all over the world these kinds of millets where they don't need water, they can grow. And people were growing more than 80 million tons of millets were grown before 1950. Now, not even 8 million tons are grown. Because human race, these fertilizer companies came into play and started growing rice and wheat only. All over the world, people started eating rice and wheat. So now, if your grandson or your son asks you, what is you will say rice and wheat. Now go to New Zealand, they will also say rice and wheat. Rice and wheat, rice and wheat. That means over a period of few generations, millets are completely forgotten. And that's what has happened. in its true sense. All over the world, what food can people eat even today? Without this transportation, without shifting food from, you see now all over India, only in Punjab they are growing wheat. It grows only where there is cold weather. And we have no cold weather. So that means we cannot grow wheat. But we are eating wheat. Am I right? Why? Because 800 million tons of wheat is grown at the behest of corporate companies. Now that they have grown because they want to use their fertilizers. And then everyone said, wheat is good, premium food. Make pizza, make burger, make noodles. And then all at a sudden on the TVs, Tendulkar comes, say Horlicks is good for you. Boost, energy, secret of my energy. We have nothing to do with wheat. But now all at a sudden everyone thinks you have to have Horlicks. You have to have Boost. And no scientist is saying this is wrong. And this is the problem. The problem right now is we have created, by growing these grains in this huge amounts, 800 million tons of wheat is grown annually. 800 million tons of this paddy rice is grown annually. To grow each kilo of this grain, you need to give 8,000 to 10,000 liters of water. Where are this water coming from? Where is this water coming from? You have built dams. To build dams, what do you need? Bricks. To make the bricks stand, what do you need? To make the cement. Sand and? Okay, you have made the bricks, you have got the sand, you have done everything. But to give the strength for the bridge, what do you have to put? Iron. Huge projects. How much iron do you need? Where is the iron? Where is the iron? Soil. So what do you do then to get the iron? Mining. So you have mined all over the planet, all mountains, up and down, topsy-turvy, made the iron, burnt it, made into steel rods, strong rods, put the dams. Where are you putting the dams? On the rivers and mountains. So when you put the dams, what are you doing behind when the water accumulates? Stocking the water. And then to make the water stand, what about the forests that were there before? All of them are deforestation. Now just building dams alone, we have deforested more than 8% of forests on this planet. So many dams are built. For what? For the cultivation of rice and wheat. Oh, why rice and wheat? We will grow sugar cane also. Each kilo of sugar you require 28,000 liter water. Anyway, we have built dams. So let us grow sugar cane. Why do they grow sugar cane? For sugar. Jaggery. Sugar cane is grown for liquor. Daru. Byproduct is sugar. So if you have one sugar factory, 18 liquor factories are around it. Are you shocked by this news? Including your teacher has no idea. So, like this, people are given misinformation. We actually don't need sugar. You know what is sugar? Glucose plus fructose. Okay? When I eat rice, what is rice? Complex carbohydrates. So C3 plant has made glucose, and then glucose is converted to various other complex carbohydrate, starch, fiber. All these things are made. Not only rice, the so-called yam, sweet potato, elephant yam. You take any plant, the carbohydrate is converted to complex carbohydrates, and then various animals and living things eat these plants. So, what is most available on this planet? Millets. 90% of the planet these plants can grow, whereas C3 grasses can grow only when? Water. When there is heavy rain, rainy water. That means the rain, 80 centimeters rainfall has to be there for a C3 plant to grow for a long period of time. Arthat, are you able to understand what I am speaking? So millets can grow. The reason is the grasses of these C4 grasses have hygroscopic bacteria which can absorb water from the environment directly. That means if you have seen weather reports, humidity 40%, 30%. Madras, if you go to Chennai, if you go to Visakhapatnam, the humidity is always above 70%. Why? Near the ocean, so water content in the air is high. Now you go to higher places, it becomes dry. The water content becomes less and less. Am I right? That means which plants can grow in the higher regions? Millets. Am I right? So which plants can grow in desert area kind of regions? Millets. So which is the food that anyone, anywhere, anytime can eat? Millets. But why are you eating rice and wheat? Because the corporate companies wanted to sell the fertilizers. They made all this drama. And now people all over the world believe that their food is rice and wheat. And on top, sugar also. So you can ask, what is your problem, Dr. Khadar? What is wrong with us eating rice, wheat and sugar? What's your problem? That's what everyone asks me when I say your food is logically, scientifically should have been millets. This one reason is good enough. Am I making sense? Am I making sense? Am I making sense? So the food that anyone could grow anytime, anywhere is not human race food. Can you believe this? It has happened. Can you believe this? This has happened. What are you asking, Dr. Khadar? It has happened. There is nothing to believe in this. This is what is going on all around the world. Whatever human beings eat on this planet, 3 times a day, 365 days a year, for the last 38 to 40 years, there is no other grain. Because these fertilizer companies, so-called scientists, have been telling everyone on this planet, millets are primitive food, coarse grains, they are bird feed, they are pig feed, animal food. These are the exact words these scientists have been telling all over the world because they control the media, they control the scientists, they control the so-called scientific research journals. Am I making sense? Not sure. Huh? Because tomorrow onwards you have to stop eating rice and wheat. Actually, this is one good enough reason for all of us to stop rice and wheat. But I am going to give you 10 more reasons why rice and wheat is not human beings' food at all. To understand why rice and wheat are not human beings' food, you should understand how rice and wheat is made, how millets are made in nature. While C4 grass assembles carbon dioxide, it doesn't require water. So, what does it do? It has hygroscopic bacteria, you have very small amount of water, so it doesn't waste any water. Even if you have very small amount of water, that means 10 centimeter rainfall areas also millets grow. So because of this water not being there, it has evolved a system called making fiber along with the grain. When it makes glucose, it makes some fiber, so that fiber retains little water, so much it can grow. So when you have millet grain in your hand, you are seeing fiber encapsulated carbohydrate. When you have rice grain in your hand, what do you have? You have carbohydrate, 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 nothing else. On top there is a thin layer of fiber. You understand now the structure of the grain of millets and rice, how they are built by? Why? Because there is enough water, it will make more and more. And that is what these so-called scientists, I use the word very consciously so-called, because they have been able to successfully convince the human race that rice and wheat is our food. Now what is the problem with rice now? There is no fiber involved in the rice grain. There is fiber involved in the millets. Now how does it make any difference? When I eat rice and when I eat millet, now there is some difference, isn't it? What is the difference? Is the fiber associated with the carbohydrate? No fiber associated with the rice and wheat. That means what? When you eat, the moment you put rice or wheat, doesn't matter whether it is pulka, paratha, chilka, pulka, whatever names you give, pizza, burger, sandwich, whatever, everything is ultimately complete complex carbohydrate which starts getting digested the moment you put in your mouth, because what all we have is carbohydrate digesting enzymes. Even in the saliva it begins. The moment you put rice, pulao, burger, whatever, the digestion starts. Tuck, 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 finished. So 15-20 minutes, by the time it actually is in the tummy, within 15 minutes, the blood starts releasing glucose. So if you eat 100 grams of rice, you have made sugar within 15-20 minutes. So it is released into your bloodstream. How much blood do you have in your body? That's perfectly right. 5 to 6 liters. But not in your body. Your body you have only 3 liters now because you are growing up. So the grown human being after 15 years or so has around 5 to 6 liters of blood. So now, how much glucose is there in your bloodstream at a given point of time? Answer again is 5. 5 grams of glucose. If it is dissolved in your 5 liters of blood, your heart can pump the blood easily so that each and every living cell can receive the blood with nutrients, and then each and every cell can burn glucose. Why should it burn glucose? To produce energy. Carbon dioxide is released, ATP. What is ATP? Adenosine triphosphate. That bond, ADP and ATP bond is broken and energy is released wherever you want. So when I want to to say shh, also I need energy. To wave, I need energy. If there is a lion, I have to run, I need energy. For anything and everything, we are converting glucose into biological energy. Glucose is a hidden house of chemical energy. Where did this glucose get energy? From sun. Sun breaks the water into oxygen and hydrogen. The hydrogen fixes onto the carbon dioxide and becomes glucose. 6 carbons, glucose. So keep dividing carbon into carbon dioxide by oxygen that you are breathing in, you are producing energy. Along with energy, what are you also producing? What are you producing along with energy, ATP? You are producing carbon dioxide. Now if I press your nose and mouth for 3 minutes, what happens? Will go up, ticket, die. That means the same carbon dioxide which is absorbed by plants converted to glucose, that same glucose when we put this rice and wheat reaches our blood within 15-20 minutes. So now is the drama begins. So when you eat 100 grams of rice, that means 5 idlis in the morning. In South India, fellows we are eating idlis. North India, they will eat paratha, whatever. Aloo paratha. Okay. Whatever you eat 100 grams, you will get around 40 to 50 grams of glucose. So if you eat 5 idlis, 40 grams of glucose. And we don't stop there, na? We also eat 1 gulab jamun, then 1 coffee, another 5 grams. And in the afternoon, power lunch, palav. After that, kheer. After that, ice cream. Ice cream, if you eat 100 grams, you are getting 70 grams of glucose. I am not talking about the milk. I will come to that later. How much sugar has come now into your blood? Approximately 70 grams. You are still in the afternoon only. Evening bonda bhaji. Again another coffee chai. How much? Another 25 grams. Dinner. 5 course, 10 course. So another 30-40 grams. So total how much? Approximately 125 grams. Per day, average, even if a small boy or girl or big fellow is pumping in how much glucose? 125 grams. Average, huh? There may be fellows who are eating 200 grams glucose. There may be fellows 75 grams. But average. So 5 grams of glucose is all that is required for your blood to hold. If it has more than 5 grams, it is called homeostasis of the blood is disturbed. Who is disturbing? Who is disturbing the homeostasis? Who is putting that much glucose in your body? Rice and wheat, and as if that is not enough, sugar also. So you have 125 grams to take care of. Okay, no problem, we need glucose. If you burn glucose only, you will get energy. So what is your problem, Dr. Khadar, if I have 125 grams of glucose? No problem. When you burn glucose, you also get carbon dioxide, isn't it? Now if I just allow it to be in your body, what will happen to you? You will die. That means every second you have to remove that carbon dioxide. Who will remove? Your blood only has to collect it, come to the lungs, then you have exchange. Alright? So now carbon dioxide is produced in my leg, in the living cell. It has burnt because I have to walk, I have to produce energy. So I am walking, energy is produced, carbon dioxide is also produced. I have to remove it. So where the blood has to come now? All the way lungs. So if it has to come to the lungs, the blood has to be pumped. Who is pumping your blood? So if you pump the blood, it has to be maintaining homeostasis. That means if you have 5 grams of sugar in your blood, the blood can go to the leg and then come back taking the carbon dioxide. Now how much do you have in your blood? 125 grams. That means the blood has become. Now take a half liter water and add 20 grams of sugar and heat to your body temperature, 38 degrees. Am I right? Your body 98.4 degree Fahrenheit, 38 degrees approximately. When you heat sugar in water for 2 minutes, what happens to that water with sugar? It becomes thick. Am I right? Someone has made gulab jamun in the house. That's how you make sugar syrup. Am I right? That means it becomes very thick. So now if I put 125 grams in 5 liters of water, where is the blood now? How is it it is thick, am I right? It is like now oil. Now how is your heart made? To pump thin liquid of blood. Now how much sugar you have added? So instead of 5 grams, it is 125 grams. That means how much more times it has become thick? 25 times more it is thicker. So who is going to experience the difficulty in pumping the blood? So heart has to pump. So what has happened now? Your blood is creating pressure in your blood vessels. Am I right? Your blood pressure has come. Are you understanding? So now you have a disease called blood pressure. BP bandide. Where do you go? Go to doctor. What does doctor do? You say tablet. Sir, what is this tablet? It is blood thinner. Am I right? Because your blood has become thick, we will give you a blood thinner. You thin your blood so that blood can flow. What if it doesn't flow? You cannot put carbon dioxide outside. You will die. So now blood pressure has increased, you have taken BP tablet. But then why blood has become thick? Because you ate? Rice and wheat you ate, sugar you ate. So, do you think eating rice and wheat, we have no other way? Your body has got liver, your body has got pancreas, your body has got spleen, your body has got thyroid gland. All this endocrine system says, glucose is too much. Let us convert this into cholesterol. Let us convert this into triglycerides. Let us convert this into rheumatic factor. Let us convert this into glycogen. Let us convert this into fat. Let us make some more meat. And that's how meat is made. So slowly, human beings before 1950, even if he is 6 feet tall, was never weighing more than 65 kilos. Now, a boy, 4-year-old boy, is weighing 60 kilos. In America, Europe, there are more than 10 kids who will weigh 60 kilos by the time they are 6 years old. And it is not very natural nowadays to find in cities like Bangalore and Hyderabad, kids who are 6 years to 10 years are weighing 60 kilos. Obesity is another disease. No problem. Weight gain. Am I making sense? Now you keep eating. The body is keeping all the glucose, trying to make different biochemicals and stack it away. Then all of a sudden you have heart block because this extra cholesterol, triglycerides, fat is accumulating in the curves of these arteries. So you have 80% block. Come, we will have operation. Remove it. Who made the heart block? Rice and wheat. Am I making sense? Now, still there is lot of glucose. So what does glucose do? Instead of being dissolved in blood, it sits on the red blood corpuscles. So instead of your hemoglobin being 12, 13, your HbA1c, glycosylated hemoglobin, becomes 12 or 13. That's when doctor tells you you are diabetic patient. That means your sugar, instead of being in the blood, now is on the blood. You are become diabetic patient. So much so that the whole world now 38% of people are diabetic. So much so that 6 kids are born with diabetes. So why all these things happened? You are good. You are understanding the problem. So now, who made this happen? Who made wheat and rice available? Corporate foods. Am I making sense? So what you are eating is absolutely unnatural and industrial food. Am I right in saying this? This is even if you are removing all the fertilizers and pesticides apart. Just eating rice and wheat alone is causing this problem. Now rice and wheat is not free of the fertilizers and chemicals that are used for growing, pesticides. So if you eat 1 kilo, 18 nanograms, that is if you eat 10 kilos, you will have 18 milligrams of chemicals going into your body. When chemicals that cannot be handled with your liver start accumulating, what do you have? You have more diseases. Am I making sense? So, if you grow more food, in the name of growing more food, what have you made your food? To be a poisonous food. So, by nature, human beings should not eat rice and wheat. What is the scientific reason? Because your blood loses homeostasis. The balance of glucose is lost. That's how you are getting BP, that's how you are getting thyroid, that's how you are getting all these diseases. Am I making sense? Now, if I want to cure these diseases, what do I do? What a lovely answer. Stop eating rice and wheat. Is there any doctor who is telling you to stop rice and wheat? No. So what are they interested in? Are they interested in curing you? No. What are they interested in then? They are selling tablets. Okay, are the tablets helping you to get cured? That's temporary. So if you have diabetes, doctor will say take this tablet lifelong. Take the BP tablet lifelong. Take the thyroid lifelong. That means they know they cannot cure. Why they cannot cure? They are allowing you to eat. So who is manufacturing diseases? Doctor is not manufacturing. You are manufacturing. So what are you supposed to do then? Okay, doctor, we'll stop eating rice. What do we eat? You do not know that they exist. This is the situation. Am I making sense? So now if you eat millets, what will happen? All things that have happened till now in your body will start disappearing. Why? Because making this millets grain, there is what is called fiber associated with it. So when you eat same 100 grams of millets, same number of idli made out of kodo millet, you will get glucose in your bloodstream, but not 50 grams. You will get only 4 or 5 grams. Unless you use that, we will not release more. Because I am associated with fiber. So if the glucose is not entering your blood does not become thick. Period. When your homeostasis is maintained, there is no disease. Because when you pump the blood is thin, I can make it reach to the lungs and I can exchange the gas. See why in many cities, whoever eats this kind of food more, first problem kids have is breathing problem. Because the blood has become thick, the blood is not reaching the alveoli where the oxygen and carbon dioxide are exchanging. There itself you have created the problem. So if sugar starts accumulating, then you have infections. Oh, you have pneumonia, come. I see you, oxygen cylinder. Oh, poor fellow passed away. This is the scenes played out everywhere. The reason? Rice, wheat and sugar. So, am I making sense? So what is your food then? Why? Because the blood does not lose its homeostasis. Blood never ever becomes thick. Am I making sense? So why are you eating rice and wheat? Because they made millets disappear. This is the reason why everyone is eating rice and wheat. Because 800 million tons of rice is grown on this planet annually. 800 million tons of wheat is grown annually. And do you know more than this what is grown on this planet? No. Can someone tell me? Let me see. Millets are now grown after Dr. Khadar came and started touring all over India telling people not your food, this is your food, that's not your this is food. Now at the most is 20 million tons, that's all. Where is 800 million tons and where is 20 million? Wheat I have told, wheat and rice, 800 million tons each. Yeah, sugar cane, 88 lakh tons of sugar. That's not Paddy is rice, paddy rice. Fertilizers are used to grow. So 1 acre of rice, if you want to grow, you have to use 200 kilos of fertilizer. And we are growing almost 30 quintals of rice. Okay? What else? There she is. You go to movies and you are popping the corn into your mouth. That is actually 1600 million tons genetically modified corn. For what? They are feeding that to pigs, chicken, cows. It is not the popcorn, that corn is American sweet corn it is called, plus 1600 million tons of soya bean. So soya bean and corn is mixed, they are making it into animal feed. They are feeding animals. What are these animals? 92 billion pigs per year. How much? Billion means, do you know how many zeros? 9. Who told 9? Good, very good. 92, 9 zeros. That many pigs are killed every year. Who is killing? Who is killing? Lions are killing? It is the people who are killing in the slaughterhouses every year. 92 billion pigs. Out of that, 92 billion, each pig is around 300 kilos. So 92 billion into 300. That means approximately 207,000 billions. The 27,000 billion kilos of pig meat is consumed every year. 2,700 billion pigs meat. Out of that, actually only half of it can be eaten. Remaining half is actually thrown. Instead of throwing, what they are doing, they will put in big boilers, steel boilers, like bigger than these rooms, bigger than this shed, and they boil it. When they boil it, they get the fat. That floating fat is actually what is called dalda. So much so that all over world, bakeries have started because they want to use this dalda. So Iyengar bakery, fellow has namas, but he is cooking with pig fat. They add little oil for you to show. So much so that our Tirupati Timmappa Laddu also has got animal fat. Am I making sense? Hydrogenated fats. To keep it preserved, they have hydrogen, they have so many other chemicals also adding little bit. So now, can you see this happening? And 200 billion chicken. And more than 200 billion eggs. So now, Sunday or Monday, khao ande. Tendulkar comes, Dravid comes, all these so-called iconic figures come and tell to make you eat ande. But what are you eating? Ande you eat, what are you getting? These chemicals, steroids. When you take more steroids in your body, your hormonal balance decreases. And now all at a sudden, milk, complete food. That's what is written in your books. CBSE, 5th standard, this is the sentence appears. How does this milk come from? In fact, there are no cows in the foreign countries. Only India has cows. Nowhere else on this planet cows are there. They borrowed one of our cows and then made IVF, in vitro fertilization, genetic modification, injected steroids, and each cow now gives 30 liters of milk. Generally, when a cow gives a calf birth, it gives 1 or 2 liters of milk. That is the normal natural cow's milk. But now we have Amul milk, Nandini milk, this milk, that milk. Yes, Jersey and HF. Trillion tons of milk is produced. Who is producing this? The companies that sell steroids and antibiotics have this dairy business. So you are drinking 1 liter milk. What are you told by doctors? Milk is good, you will get calcium. If you drink 1 liter of milk, you will get 900 milligrams of calcium. Actually, you don't get any calcium if you drink milk. You don't get any calcium because cow's milk, the calcium present in cow can only be absorbed by the calf, not by you. So if you want to get calcium when you are growing up, when you are born, whose milk are you taking? Your mother's milk. So the same way, when a cow gives birth to calf, whose milk it has to drink? Your mother's milk? Then why are you drinking cow's milk? Am I making sense? So, whose milk are you supposed to drink? Your mother's milk. Am I right? Then why are you drinking cow's milk? And cow's milk is designed by God for the nutrients, the hormone balance for the cow to grow in 6 months this big. Do you grow this big? You don't grow. So it is a scientific myth that milk is good for you. In fact, for whom you should ask, milk is good for whom? For the calf, not for you. So you are stealing the milk of the cow from its baby. And who said it is good for you? The so-called scientists told. Do you know what has happened in the last 50 years? You started drinking milk indiscriminately, unscientifically, without having any heart to the kids that the cows are giving birth. The kids, the calves are sent to slaughterhouse immediately so that you are all drinking milk. To produce this milk, do you know how much water each liter takes? You need 15,000 liters of water. Okay, I am happy with drinking milk. I am growing well. This is what they have shown you on TVs and then teachers have told. Absolutely wrong information. In fact, what has happened in the last 50 years, listen to this very carefully. The girls on this planet started menstruating early. 8 and 9-year-old kids, girls have started menstruation. That is supposed to happen in nature. If you do not drink animal milk, every girl will menstruate after the age of 14 or 15. This is a scientific truth. And boys have started losing sperm even if before they started making. Because of the testosterone and estrogen, the balance of hormones is completely out of whack. So it is the choice of the corporate food scientists that have made this happen. And all over the world, girls are women by the age of 8 or 9 now. And this much big mistake has happened and no scientist on this planet is winking an eye. You see how these corporate food companies have slowly built up the unnatural food to be your food right now. So if human race stops drinking milk tomorrow onwards, by next year you can close down half the hospitals. That many diseases will disappear. All are confused, am I right? I am happy you are confused. It's not milk, you are drinking coffee, tea, paneer. Paneer is worse. You are concentrating 10 liters of milk, making 1 kilo of paneer. Yes. And that is not enough. You mix sugar with that, make sweets. Yes. Make powder milk. So everyone is served this as very good, complete food. So what are we doing? We are manufacturing diseases. So much so that now the next generations are born. 8% kids are born mentally retarded. 8% kids are born hole in the heart. 8% kids are born with type 1 diabetes. 8% kids are born ADHD. 8% kids are born, they don't know who they are, either girl or boy, confused, or LGBT. Can you believe this? It has happened? It has happened. This is the fact of the matter. And it's all happened because you are eating what you are eating. So I'm sorry I have to come and declare these things as really poisonous foods. And that's what the human race has been doing in the last 50 years. So the alternative has always been native. You can grow here, eat there. Go to New Zealand, grow there, eat there. Go to Colorado mountains, grow there, eat there. Go to Rajasthan desert, grow there, eat there. No transport is required. Absolutely zero transportation. And why are we not eating millets? Because systematically these companies have eliminated not only the millets, including the knowledge about millets. There is not a single research institute on this planet. And do you know why your kids are having type 1 diabetes? Your kids have asthma problems, your kids have BP problems, your kids will have type 1 diabetes. This is given. 30% kids are dysfunctional. Dysfunctional. I am trying to make the globe change its food. And to grow all this food, you have killed 68% of diversified fauna and flora on this planet. Global warming, 10.4 billion tons of carbon dioxide is released by this food production only. And total per year, 14 billion tons of carbon dioxide is released. And all these environmentalists are talking about the 2.6 billion carbon dioxide units, not talking about 10.4 billion tons of carbon dioxide released. So if you stop eating rice, wheat and meat, you can save the planet from global warming in the next 10 years. Next 10 years, instead of temperature increasing, we can start reversing. So now, who is making the global warming? You drinking coffee, you drinking rice, What rice? You make beer, you make liquor. Of course, you are not drinking now. I am sure out of this group, by the time you grow to 25 years, half of you people will drink beer. They will make sure. The companies will make sure. Am I making sense? As if this is not enough, Shah Rukh Khan, Ajay Devgan, Akshay Kumar will come and sell you gutka. In the prayer hall, your teacher will say, we will not drink, we will not tell lies in the prayer hall. As soon as you go out of your school, what do you see? Gutka malas. No pushpa mala, you have only gutka malas. Is anyone telling you not to touch that gutka? Do you see the situation? Kids? So we have been lying to you all the time. Are we not lying to you? Are we lying or not? We are lying. So are you ready to eat millets? Yes. It's not that you will fix your health problems. You will fix all these big problems. All these big problems. I guarantee your health. Nowadays everyone is saying guarantee. I will also give some guarantee. Your health is guaranteed. When? When you eat millets. Because when you eat millets, the fiber in the millets controls your physiological reactions, increases gut microbes. When symbiotic gut microbes can be increased by just take 5 grams of millets, just 5 grams, soak them in water for 8 hours. Why do you need to soak millets in water? Because there is fiber in it. Rice you don't need to soak. Just cook in hot water, it will become okay. Whereas millets, you have to soak. Soak for 8 hours, cook in half liter of water, make thin porridge, tie it in a mud pot for 8 hours, fermentation, microbes come in, drink that 1 tumbler. After 5 minutes, eat food made by millets. Millet rice, millet idli, millet dosa, millet khichdi, millet payasam, anything you can make. In fact, this was what made all over India. All the temples used to serve sama, that is little millet, naivedyam, with paddy palm jaggery. That's what is sweet, naivedyam. So we have forgotten all these wonderful processes and then became sick, and multi-speciality hospitals are growing. So have I made things clear to you? Yes. So the journey of food has been sabotaged by this Western food corporate culture, and that's why we are all sick. That's the reason why we are sick. So if you stop drinking milk, you will have no gynecological problems, no fibroids, no PCOD, no endometriosis, no breast problem. Absolutely zero problems you will have. And more than that, the girls started having moustache on their upper lip, then beauty parlors. One by one go to beauty parlors. All this is because of hormone imbalance, eating eggs, eating meat, drinking milk, hormone imbalance. So you understand what you should eat, what you should not eat. Then you don't need doctor. I don't want to take more time. I have already taken more than 1 hour 20 minutes. So I think I should stop. Should I stop here? I'll give two more sentences and then we'll stop. So what is the learning?
No group answers, one of you stand.
No, it's okay. I like it. Everyone is. Yeah, that's good. But the lesson you learnt is that if your food is right, no medicine is needed. And if your food is wrong, no medicine works. Allopathy, naturopathy, homeopathy, tatopathy, go to Tirupati, nothing works. Am I making sense? So if your food is right, no doctor is needed. So what do you eat then? What is the right food? Right food is making the microbial balance, making the hormonal balance, making the glucose balance. These three are the pillars of your health. So eat healthy food means eat millets. So millets can save us, not only our health, generations to come. Because we can save the water, we can save the earth, we can save the forests, we can save all the living things on this planet. Because to grow millets, we don't need to disturb nature a single minute. The conservation of nature, conservation of natural resources is possible only through millets being our food. Nothing else can do this job. So food security, food sovereignty is possible only and only through millets. So millets are not just your right food, it is the right way of living for human race, and that was the case we recently found in the archaeological reminiscence of human mouth and gums. What is found is C4 grasses and its grains only, not meat, not rice and wheat. Am I making sense? Yes. So let's celebrate that we have found what the right food is, so that coming generations after generations can live healthy life without hospitals. So you do not want to go to a doctor, where do you want to go? Go to the kitchen, make your ambali. So you lost your health in the kitchen, but you are searching in the hospitals. What are you getting in the hospitals? Tablets, MRI scan, PET scan, CAT scan and what not. Are you getting health? You are not getting health. Do you know? One example I'll give and end my lecture. This is what? Who owned it? Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs died of pancreatic cancer. 8 months, 800 doctors treated him. He could not drink water. He died miserable death. So you can make all the money in the world, but if you have no health, so that's why I named these 5 grains Siridhanya. Siri means the ultimate wealth. So if you have health, you have everything. You have no health, you have nothing. So who is the richest person? One who has health. So be healthy, eat millets. Thank you very much. I thank the school organization, Ved Kumar. Thank you.
మరిన్ని అప్డేట్స్ కోసం బ్యాక్ టు రూట్స్ యూట్యూబ్ ఛానల్ని సబ్స్క్రైబ్ చేసుకోండి.